Psalm 53 today. And funnily enough, it's very similar to Psalm 14, which James took us through yesterday. So we either get to sort of repeat what he said, which will be fun, or contradict him, which will be even more fun. We can have some theological wars, which Emily thought was the lamest kind of war, which is probably true. But let's read and we'll see where we get to. The fool says in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt and their ways are vile. There is no one who does good. God looks down from heaven on all mankind to see if there are any who understand, any who seek God. Everyone has turned away. All have become corrupt. There is no one who does good, not even one. Do all these evildoers know nothing? They devour my people as though eating bread. They never call on God. But there they are, overwhelmed with dread, when there was nothing to dread. God scattered the bones of those who attacked you. You put them to shame, for God despised them. Oh, that salvation for Israel would come out of Zion. When God restores his people, let Jacob rejoice and Israel be glad. So the first question I'm asking is, why is this psalm, yes, a little bit different, but essentially the same, in the Bible twice? And I suppose it is to show the importance of a life founded on a deep heart knowledge of God. That to live a good life, to live the right way, has to come from a place of heart knowing, a deep knowing of God. That's what verse 1 is saying, that the fool says in his heart, there is no God. It's not so much talking about sort of an atheism in the way we understand atheism, but a functional atheism, living life as if there is no God, even if we may believe in our heads there is. Living in total ignorance, ignoring him. But there are differences as well between Psalm 14 and Psalm 53. And the main difference really is that Psalm 14 seems to be more oriented towards the foolishness, if you like, within Israel. And Psalm 53 more about the foolishness of those outside Israel's enemies. So I'm just going to be focusing a bit more on, I guess, thinking about those outside the church who are maybe persecuting the church or just don't know him. And to pray for that. I guess, first of all, thinking about those who are attacking the church, who are persecuting, and maybe persecuting minorities generally. Verse 4, the psalmist cries out, do all these evildoers know nothing? There is this longing for justice, longing for God to just reveal himself so that these people will stop what they're doing. They're evil. And so I want to pray for those who are persecuting the church, our brothers and sisters in, those places, Iran, Afghanistan, North Korea, the places where our brothers and sisters are really under threat. I want to pray for God to reveal himself so that they would be humbled by the knowledge of him, that he would reveal himself in all his power and the fact that they are accountable. They are accountable in their actions to the God who made the universe. I want them to know that, and I want them to stop what they're doing. And I know that the key to that is for their hearts to be enlightened to a knowledge that, oh my goodness, there is the God of the universe who cares about these people and persecuting. So I want to pray for that. But I also want to pray more positively. It leads me to pray for those who don't know Jesus, simply to pray for, if you like, on a big scale, an awakening, for a revival, whatever word you want to use. I want to pray for, as it says in verse 6, that the salvation that has come out of Israel in Jesus would be revealed to the world, that there'd be loads and loads of people coming to know Jesus. I want to see his kingdom come. I want to see his kingdom extend. And I want to see the joy and transformation that comes as a result of that. That it's through the knowledge of God, as his fragrance, if you like, spreads throughout the earth, that we see societies transformed, that we see lives transformed, but then communities and societies transformed. So I want to pray for a big scale awakening. I want to pray for all the spheres of government, of culture, of politics, of sport, of business, of schools, to be awakened to the knowledge of God and to see our society transformed. I want to see joy outpoured through the knowledge, through the spreading knowledge of God. But it also leads me to think about my own place in this, because as we think about that phrase, the fragrance of the knowledge of God, which comes from Amos chapter 2, verse 14, Paul picks it up in 2 Corinthians, verse 14, and he says that God is wanting to use us to spread the knowledge, the aroma of the knowledge of him everywhere. He's wanting to use me. So the way I guess I want to finish my praying of this psalm is to think, how is God wanting to use me to spread the knowledge of God in the world? And so there needs to be a bit of reflection there, searching of myself. But listening to the Spirit, God, how are you wanting to spread the fragrance of the knowledge of you today, this week, in the opportunities, the spheres, the areas of influence you've given me? God, please help open my ears, open my eyes to see where you're at work. So that's how I'm praying Psalm 53. You can see how that compares to what James has said, have a bit of fun. But otherwise, have a good pray, and God bless. I'll see you soon.